Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. This past Sunday, December 4th, 2016, was the 47-year anniversary of the murder of Fred Hampton by the Chicago police and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. The day after that anniversary was the death of Big Syke, the rapper from the Outlaws from Thug Life with Tupac Shakur. He died December 5th, this Monday, supposedly from natural causes. If you missed my video on his death, I talked about what murder by numbers was and how so many rappers, including Tupac Shakur, have been murdered by the numbers, and a lot of these rappers murdered by the numbers have parents and family who were in the Black Panther Party. And what I have come to understand over years of research is the Black Panther Party was controlled opposition, meaning what they were speaking out against, which was a real thing. They were speaking out against real racism, real tyranny. But who was getting their message out was in truth the people they were speaking against, which are the people who control banking, who control government, who control media. All throughout history, the powers that be have used controlled opposition to calm and quiet and control segments of the population, such as the people who are awake because they've experienced the injustice the most, like so many black Americans living in the United States. So anyway, if you missed my video on the death of Big Syke, check that out. A lot of information. I talk about the death of Tupac, Hussein Fatal, Yaki Gaddafi, and many other people, including Prince, Tupac's mother earlier this year, who was a member of the Black Panther Party. In that video, I mentioned the death of Fred Hampton, and a lot of people didn't like what I said about him being an agent who died by the numbers. And look, my message, it's never about racism or misleading anyone. I'm trying to show people what's been going on in this country over the years. Fred Hampton, if he really died, was a young man, and I'm sure his intentions were right. But what I am showing is these people who get indoctrinated into certain things, such as the Black Panther Party, which was controlled by the Freemasons, again, who control your government and all the tyranny against black people, just like how they can currently control the Black Lives Matter movement, which I've been exposing. It's the exact same thing. Black Panther Party and Black Lives Matter both have the exact same gematria, the same as Masonic. Special number to this country. That number's 74. There's a reason our birthday is July 4th. And look at what's going on with Black Lives Matter right now. The police have created a bill called Blue Lives Matter that says Black Lives Matter is a threat. That's why they need to militarize. That's why they need more police, more armored vehicles. Over the years, the powers that be have used controlled opposition to steer agenda. Once upon a time, it was provoking a lot of black Americans to riot, act out. Why? Why did they want that? So they could come in and demonize those communities. They could arrest those people. They could throw them in the prison industrial complex. They could say to the rest of America, which they've programmed to hate black people, to say, see, look at these people. They destroy their own communities. They say that's why Detroit never came back. It's interesting how Chicago came back, but not Detroit. Chicago's the Zionist Masonic Mecca, and that's where Fred Hampton died. So let's get to Fred Hampton's death by the numbers, dead December 4th, 1969, a very specific date in regards to his birth, which was August 30th, 1948. From his birthday, his 21st birthday, to his death was 96 days, and 96 is the number of the Freemasons. The ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry are 31, 32, 33. Add those three numbers together, they sum to 96. It's Scottish Rite Freemasons who came to the Americas, made the genocide of the native people, and then created this nation where we're all born equal. But if you only have rights if you're born into the wealthy, the rich, the elite. So anyway, the number 42, special as well to the Freemasons. If you take all the numbers that divide into 42, they sum to 96. Just like the word Freemason, big G in the middle of the Freemason compass and square represents 42. The word Freemason equals 42. Fred Hampton had just turned 21 years old. 21, a number that connects to 42. You want another connection real quick? The word Bible equals 21. The first published Bibles were called 42-line Bibles. New Testament in Gematria equals 42. There's 42 generations to Jesus. Here's another 42. TV. TV is 42. And what's the parallel between the Bible and TV? Mind control. Two things that tell you to believe, fear, but don't really stimulate thinking. Unless you're a naturally questioning person, then you'll just think about everything. But that's not everybody. So anyway, 42 is this number stamped all over black men. Fred Hampton just died at age 21. 21 connects to 42. 42, this number stamped all over black people again and again. February equals 42. Brothers equals 42. The most hateful word for black people, 42. Boy, the derogatory term, 42. You know what's going on in Chicago right now? On 47th Street, there's a museum owned by a Zionist that has an exhibit that's supposed to be a tribute to Michael Brown, the man shot by the police officer, Darren Wilson. Ferguson equals 42. Missouri equals 42. Freddie equals 42. Remember Freddie Gray right after? All these stories over the years, they code the same numbers. Rodney King's all coded numbers. Watch my video on Rodney King, but look up his birthday. April 2nd, 4-2. Not a coincidence. All these people, all these names over the years used in an ongoing agenda. Another good 42 is the word bus. The word bus equals 42. Black history on the bus. Black History Month is February, the only month with 42 Gematria. There's a reason Jackie Robinson wore 42. This number has been very relevant to black history when you learn to decode. So the Freemasons, the people who work by the numbers, murder by the numbers, have people fake their deaths by the numbers. It's also possible that Fred Hampton, it's possible that his death isn't real. It's possible that it was a stage scene put out to provoke people. When I was younger and I learned about the Fred Hampton story, what I asked is, why aren't there many other stories like this in history of black men being murdered by the police and FBI? Why do they put this story out for the public but not others? Because the police and the FBI, they've murdered a lot of people and a lot of black people. The stories normally don't get out there. So why did they make it for Fred Hampton? Anyhow, Fred equals 33, so does Hampton. Freemasonry, 33. Very important number to Freemasonry. Race war in Gematria sums to 33. Fred Hampton was also born August 30th, 1948, a date with 33 numerology to go with his first and last name of 33. Race wars 33, false flags 33, police 33, order 33, federal 33, masonry, secrecy, all 33 words. The FBI in history, which is blamed for his murder, was established July 26, 1908, a date with 33 numerology as well. You know? This is why the story was put out. Our government, remember what the word government means? It comes from a Latin word that means mind control. Mind control. Government, always trying to steer you, control you, tell you what to believe, what to think, what to follow. You know? But all throughout history, the FBI, the CIA, they've always worked to orchestrate events to steer the masses. You know, 1 month after John F. Kennedy was assassinated, Truman, who was the 33rd president, who created the CIA, the NSA, all the things that are now used to spy on us, 1 month after JFK's assassination, he wrote the op-ed in the paper, what was it, the Washington Post? I think that's the paper he wrote it for. It was syndicated. The thing he wrote exactly a month after JFK was killed was that the CIA needed to essentially be gutted and limited to only collecting information, having no other functions. Of course, that never happened, and he wrote it in regards to the JFK assassination. JFK was killed on November 22nd, 11 plus 22, 33, in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Master Mason. It was 1963. 11 plus 22 is 33, plus 63 is 96. And a lot of people are convinced that JFK really died that day. They've seen the Zapruder film, which was made by a 33rd degree Master Mason. That's what Zapruder was. If you've never seen my work on JFK's assassination, his brothers, Abraham Lincoln's, I have a lot of videos with a lot of information. But anyway, the point is, that Zapruder film, nobody could make out anything on that film until the version that came out in the 90s, which was over 30 years after his death. It's entirely possible that JFK faked his death. The name Kennedy equals 33. And why would he do that? The same reason they would stage a story like this. Again, it's to steer people. What was the message that came out of JFK? Look at our society, people. The message is very clear. Go against the authority. Consequences will come, possibly death. And in this society, we're very much controlled with the fear of death or being incarcerated. Fears that are always projected on us by the mainstream. So many people don't speak up because they say, well, look, JFK spoke up, he got his head blown off. And look at America. Mostly people who are turtles with their heads tucked inside their shell. There's a lot of people who are awake to what's wrong, but they don't dare speak up because consequences might come. Their friends, their family might shun them. This is all due to the years of programming, all these stories. JFK, think about all the people that got assassinated in the 60s. Malcolm X by the numbers, Martin Luther King Jr. by the numbers, Robert Kennedy by the numbers, and more. The entire date of establishment for the FBI, everything about it is just so interesting. 51 life lesson number like federal and conspiracy, 60 like police, the FBI, the federal police force when it was established. With regards to all of the 33 coding on Fred Hampton, Black Panther Party equals 74, established by Huey P. Newton, which we'll get to. 74, that special number to the Freemasons. And remember last year, the shooting at the black church in the Carolinas by Dylan Stormroof? White supremacist equals 74, Dylan Stormroof equals 74. Black Panther Party 74, Masonic 74, like I was saying. Everything about that shooting in Charleston was coded 74. And you might recall the new Black Panther Party showed up at the side of the church and began protesting. And then making headlines for making equal hate speech about how black people needed to mobilize and kill whites. Remember when that was going on for a minute? New Black Panther Party saying to kill whites in Charleston. See, they're trying to stir us up. But the fact of the matter is the average American's not paying attention. They're too busy going to work, going to school, doing whatever they do for fun. But if you pay attention to what's going on, it's the same thing again and again, by the numbers, trying to stir us up, trying to divide us. These Freemasons, they believe in order out of chaos, divide and conquer. The new Black Panther Party was established in 89, and new Black Panther Party equals 89. Black Panther Party 74, News 15, 15 plus 74, 89. Established in 89, the year Huey P. Newton died, who founded the first Black Panther Party, which we'll get to. But anyway, I just give you all these points so you can understand over the years, it's just the same thing a million times. So when I made my comments the other day in the video about Fred Hampton, because I mentioned he might not have really died, somebody said, haven't you seen the pictures? and anytime somebody writes something like that to me, I think, haven't you seen a movie before? Aren't you listening to my words? I'm telling you, the same people who control Hollywood control your news. They control your government. They're the Zionist Jews. They're the Jesuits. They're the Freemasons. It's not hard to see if you just open up your eyeballs. Some of you are probably like thinking about the irony of that since my eyes always look half closed, but I can see. I can see very clearly. All of you who ask these questions, haven't you seen the pictures of him dead? I mean, you guys rediscover your brain, okay? How many very realistic killings have you seen in movies? It's not hard to deceive people with a camera, especially with still images. They say Alfred Hitchcock used to use Hershey's syrup to make his blood scenes, People thought it looked real. But this gang, they don't respect human life. I wouldn't put it past them to kill somebody either that they used as an agent. It's just you can't be certain. I'd like to know what book was there on the corner of this bed. That might be a clue if this scene was real or not. These people love to lay props around. I should do some research on that. What book is that? What book is that? So they gave him this date of birth, truth seeker Fred Hampton. Beyond his name, beyond the 33 birth numerology, there's more coded into his birth. His life lesson number is 60. The other number for the most hateful word for black people. Remember Moses Malone was killed by the numbers this year at age 60, or the end of last year actually, September 2015. And his death was synced up with Kobe Bryant's final game where he scored 60. Why Moses Malone? Why Kobe Bryant? They both have the Philadelphia connections. Both high school players drafted in the NBA. Moses Malone was the first. Moses Malone was drafted by the Utah Stars, the team in Utah at the time. This past season, Kobe Bryant finished his career against Utah. And from the day Moses Malone died to the day Kobe scored 60 to close out his career, 213 days, 213. A lot of young black men have died by that number. Len Bias, Reggie Lewis, Tupac Shakur, and more. 213 is also the LA area code. This is what murder by numbers looks like. When you learn to track these killings, you can often find out what ritual they're for. And what I was saying last year before the Super Bowl even happened, I was pointing out how Fred Hampton's death might even be a clue for Super Bowl 50, as crazy as that sounds. I was pointing out the date he died, how it connects to the National Football League, which was established in Chicago. I was saying because of this, there will probably be a Black Panther tribute in the Super Bowl, which ended up happening. The only reason I'm aware of these things is from doing all this research for 3 years and seeing how over the years they've been lining up history, murdering by numbers, spawning tributes off those things, sometimes even years and years down the road. Why would they murder Fred Hampton 47 years before a symbolic Super Bowl with a team with a Black Panther on the side of their helmet? Here's why. Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl, was in the year 66. The same year the Black Panther Party was established. Black nationalism equals 66. That was the 47th season of the NFL. The year of the first Super Bowl, 47th season. Fred Hampton died 47 years before the Black Panther symbol team was playing near the Bay Area. The Black Panthers established in Oakland. I hope I explained that slowly and clearly enough. But I really, if you go through my videos, you'll see this really is what's going on, as crazy as it is. So anyway, his date of birth, date with 86 numerology, special number, the word symbol, the word triangle, the word pyramid, they all sum to 86. Symbolic death. A lot of people know about Fred Hampton's death. August 30th, 8 plus 30, 38. Death, killing, Masonic, Jewish prince. Think about Prince Hall Freemasonry created for black men. If you missed my recent video on the death of Tommy from Martin, murder by numbers, by the number 38. Just like how Prince, the musician, died by the number 38 earlier this year. August 30th. It's also the 242nd day of the year. Notice how there's a 42 in that number. We just talked about 42 on black people. It's also the day that leaves 123 days left in the year. August 30th leaves 123 days. Conspiracy equals 123, his supposed birthday. Very interesting, all that's coded into it. It's entirely possible that Fred Hampton was born with a different name and a different birthday, and this whole identity was made up for this planned event to provoke people. How many 21-year-olds in this world would sell out for some money, I don't want to say that's the case, though, because I don't know that that's the case. But don't dismiss it as a possibility, because people have sold you out all through the years. pretending to be something that they're not. So the date he died, lots of interesting numerology here. 104, like 10-4 message received. Jerusalem, the home of the Zionists, 104 Gematria with a USA right in the middle. Date of establishment for this country, 7 plus 4 plus 17 plus 76, 104. Right now we're giving Israel $10.4 million a day. That's how much we give every day to Israel right now, $10.4 million. It's also $3.8 billion a year that we give them, 3.8. The word Jew is 38. The word Jewish in Pythagorean gematria is also 38. Date he died, a date with 41 numerology, the 13th prime number, USA equals 41, 13 stripes on the flag, 13 colonies, 41 the 13th prime. Date with 32 numerology, America, gematria of 32. It was a date with 85 numerology, again, National Football League equals 85. The last time Chicago won the Super Bowl was the 85 season. Ron Rivera was on that team who coached the Panthers last year. That Bears team was 15-1. The Panthers were 15-1. I also pointed out last year when I was bringing up the thing about Fred Hampton and the possible Super Bowl Black Panther tribute. If you guys missed the article USA Today wrote about me in January 2016 making fun of me for all that I said, you can go back and watch it. They made fun of me saying that all this stuff would happen. I was blaming it on the Freemasons. It all came true. No follow-up article. Amazing. Here's all that I predicted. In October, I predicted the Broncos would win. By November, I said it would be Broncos over Panthers for the race war symbolism. From there, I said Von Miller would be the MVP, number 58, which we'll get to. Cam Newton became the 58th quarterback to start in the Super Bowl, which we'll get to, how that connects to the Black Panthers in Oakland. But I predicted all these things. Broncos over Panthers. Von Miller MVP and a Black Panther tribute. USA Today made fun of me. All those things came true. No apology from USA Today. Anyone can find that article. Just search my name, Zachary K. Hubbard. If you just search Zachary K. Hubbard, it's one of the first things that comes up on most search engines. If you type USA Today, it'll be right there. It's their sports page called The Big Lead. And be sure to watch the Simpsons video they linked at the end and pay attention to the last paragraph. He says my blog has 47,000 vile things on it, and then he links a song called We Do, which is from the Simpsons cartoon talking about Freemasonry, and we do in gematria equals 47. That USA Today author ended that article that way because I was educating about 47, the first Super Bowl in the 47th season, the significance of 47 to the Freemasons. By the way, the Freemasons are builders. They have something called Euclid's 47th problem. In gematria, foundation equals 47, framework equals 47. Euclid's 47th problem is about how to start a foundation, a perfect square for a building. That's why the NFL had its first Super Bowl in the 47th season. It's probably why Fred Hampton's death was 47 years from 69 to 2016, where the Black Panthers appeared in the Super Bowl. Last year's Super Bowl was Super Bowl 50. The 46th Super Bowl of the modern era. Chicago 46, Sacrifice 46, Chaos 46, Order out of Chaos, a Freemason motto. So anyhow, check this out. BPP in Jewish gematria equals 122. Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mother, just died on May 2nd this year, the 122nd day of the year. She was a Black Panther. Oakland, where the Black Panther Party was established, is on the 122nd meridian. The 49ers out of San Francisco hosted the Super Bowl right across the bridge, the Bay Bridge. Same meridian, 122 like BPP. This is a special number in Jewish gematria. The word for God, Elohim, equals 122. The Freemasons are playing God over people. Freemason and Francis Bacon gematria equals 122. Look at this. The Black Panther Party was established in Oakland by Huey P. Newton. Oakland 58, Huey P. Newton 58. Think about how the quarterback for the Panthers is Cam Newton with a Black Panther on the side of his helmet. And he literally became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl last year. To prove that, if you doubt me, Look up the article written just before the Super Bowl about the 57 quarterbacks to start in a Super Bowl so far. That was written last year during the NFL playoffs. Peyton Manning had already been in a Super Bowl, so that means Cam Newton was the only new addition, and he became number 58. Not a coincidence. This is what I mean when I'm saying murder by numbers is happening. It's being scripted in with history by numbers. These sports games are tributes to history of the past in numbers. It's what it's been all this time. I think these traditions come from way back. Ancient cultures. Gematria has been with this world for thousands of years. Secret from we the masses. It's because the United States of America has always been a big slave ship. Nation of slaves who were told to breed and grow more slaves. Need more manpower to generate more wealth. More human experimentation. That's what we are. We're a bunch of lab mice to the people who rule over us. This is a big experiment. So anyway, just look at all the 58. Oakland, Huey P. Newton, Freemasonry, Secret Society, Nation of Islam equals 58. That's another story. Again, the Black Panther Party established in 66, the season of the first Super Bowl. Last year was the golden anniversary of the Super Bowl. Gold equals 38. The Super Bowl was on the 38th day of the year. Think about how the 49ers are named after the gold rush. Think about Jews and jewelry. And Jews and killing and murder by numbers. This is their game. Jew equals 38, killing 38, death 38. Jewish people running the entertainment industries and murdering their athletes by the numbers. Fred Hampton born on August 30th, supposedly. 30 plus 8, 38. I should have mentioned that Panthers equals 38. I should mention that Colorado's the 38th state that won the Super Bowl on the 38th day of the year. Colorado and Gematria equals 38. I predicted the Super Bowl in October based on a story out of Los Angeles about a dead body supposedly flying out the back window of a car and landing on Colorado Street by the numbers. I said, watch this. That's going to be your sign that the Colorado football team is going to be in the Super Bowl. And everyone said I was out of my mind. They said, Peyton Manning, he's washed up. He's not going anywhere. I said, that's going to be the joke on all of you when Peyton Manning's throwing wounded ducks and hoisting the Lombardi trophy. Another prediction I got right. So anyway, 66, black nationalism has Gematria of 66. Also 57, like Scottish Rite Freemasonry. You know what? If you do the K exception, it sums to 75, and so does Carolina Panthers. Funny. The tributes are deep. Carolina Panthers also lost in Super Bowl 38 to the Patriots. And again, Black Panther Party equals 74. So does white supremacist. So does Dylan Stormroof, the shooter at the Charleston church, who was arrested on Interstate 74, plus a million other 74s in the story. Let's see here. Show you some things about Huey P. Newton, founder of the Black Panther Party, born in 42. Dead at age 47 in 89. 47 again. Rodney King dead at age 47. Rodney King beat on 3-3 March 3rd by the LAPD 33. Police 33. Race War 33. False Flag 33. So just so you know, Rodney King in Gematria sums to 59. So does the word Negro, slave, blues. Motown came out in 59. Black History Month ends on the 28th day, which is the 59th day of the year. Dr. Huey Percy Newton equals 95, the reflection of 59. Dr. Huey Percy Newton also sums to 239, so does Torah, so does Golden Gate in Jewish Gematria. These are important numbers to the Jewish Zionist bankers who founded this nation and controlled it from the beginning. Our flag was sewn at 239 Arch Street. The flag's 239 years old right now. Has the same birthday as Donald Trump, June 14th, Flag Day. Flag was established on a date with 33 numerology, June 14th, 1777. The Golden Gate Bridge, not too far from the Bay Area. The Jews believe their Messiah will come through the Golden Gate. Messiah equals 74. Black Panther Party 74. This number coded on Dr. Huey Percy Newton. It's all part of their sick joke. They do this stuff again and again. He was the Messiah for the Black Panther Party, in their sick minds, no doubt. He would die August 22nd, 89. Again, new Black Panther Party equals 89. Established the year he died. He died on a date with 119 numerology, all-seeing eye 119, Star of David, master plan. They all sum to 119. He died on a date with 39 numerology as well. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. died at age 39. Both of their names sum to 93. They only met one time as leaders. Isn't that so interesting that they would only meet one time? And they met on a date with 93 numerology. The number that these Zionist Jews do everything by because it's the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. And by coming to understand this, you can find out that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr., the only reason you know their names is because they were owned and operated by this gang. And they were used in a form of controlled opposition to speak some truth. You know, both figures at the time and culture were seen as polarizing and dividing in certain ways. But again, it's the media that's always putting out these people and then controlling the narratives and stirring people up. It's been the same thing all this time over the years. If you've never seen the Christmas special from 60 Minutes back then, when they interview Martin Luther King Jr.'s family, I'm almost certain he didn't die. Look at his family. Go watch that interview and you'll feel just like me. Everyone's so happy and the kids are saying they think they're going to see him again. Something is off. And the wife, something's way off with her. You know? Again, what happened after his death? Riots, chaos, a lot of people put in prison. A lot of new stereotypes and demonizing and further division. With regards to him dying August 22nd, that date can be written day before month 22/8, like 228. Death has the gematria of 228. So does Martin Luther King Jr. Think about the last day of February 28th, Black History Month. The 59th day of the year, the word kill in Jewish gematria sums to 59. Number stamped all over black people throughout history. Again, AIDS supposedly discovered in 59 in the Belgian Congo. Belgian Congo 59. AIDS 33. And everything about the story of AIDS is all centered around 33. The first patient, the first doctor. I haven't looked at it for a minute, but I know either the first patient or the first doctor, one of those two was 33 years old. It was probably the patient. Cam Newton was also born in 89. Just after that, he's down there in the Carolinas. They just had the new Black Panther Party there after the hoax shooting at the church. And for all of you who don't think these shootings are a hoax, ask yourself, they even put in the news, just 3 days after the horrific shooting, church service already back to normal at the church. I mean, talk about a mocking. Supposedly this kid shot up the whole church, murdered all these people. They got everything fixed up and ready to go without a trace of any wrongdoing 3 days later. Yeah, right. Cam Newton. Birth numerology of 96. And Cameron, his full first name, 33. Numbers coded into the death of Fred Hampton, who died 96 days after his supposed birthday. On August 30th, his birthday. 38. Panthers, 38. So I think we covered it all, Truth Seeker. Doesn't it make more sense now? Huey P. Newton, Cam Newton, being mocked. With regards to all of this 47, I want to make a point. The word goy equals 47, and what that is to the Jewish Zionists is someone who's lesser, someone who's not Jewish. a lesser, a goy. Go back to my video from July 4th about the Jupiter probe landing on the 4th of July. Remember this story? Go back and watch that video. Google Doodle had a tribute up all day that spelled the word goy. And July 4th can be written 4/7, plus this year it was a year with 47 numerology. We're being mocked in a lot of ways, people. We're being lied to about what's going on in space. We're being lied to about everything that's going on this earth. History, even sports games, what's in our food, what's happening to all these people who've reportedly died. And just like I said, sports are rigged. They're rigged by the numbers. I've proved it a million times. They're connected to history. Do you remember when Cam Newton forgot how to fall on his own fumble at the end of the Super Bowl? As if he'd never played football before. For a moment, he just stared at the ball. And then when he fell down, he didn't fall towards the ball. I mean, the Super Bowl's on the line. If he doesn't recover the game's over. Guys paid millions of dollars to play football. First, he stared at the ball right at his feet. And then when he fell away from the ball. People are sitting here arguing with me if these games are rigged, if the players are in on it. I can't figure out why somebody paid $20 million a year would lie or participate in a rigged game. I get comments like that all the time. So let's just end with a little logic course. A lot of these quarterbacks make around $20 million a year. I don't know that Cam Newton makes quite that much, but let's make sure I got this number right. All right, so that is $20 million. Let's divide it by 50,000, which is more than what most Americans make in a year. Considerably more. 50,000. You would have to work for 400 years to make $20 million. Cam Newton, after his contract and endorsements, probably makes more than $20 million a year. You don't understand why these guys would participate in rigged sports games? You don't understand why somebody would participate in the faking of their own death? I don't know how much these celebrities are getting paid to sell us out, but it's obvious that they're being controlled with money, just like how everyone else gets controlled to sell us out. Again, that same gang that controls the money controls your media, your government. They're after your mind's eye. That's why they got the all-seeing eye on the dollar bills. If you never watched my video on our money and why we have the denominations 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 for bills, for our fiat currency, add those numbers up, they sum to 188, like Bavarian Illuminati, which is what the symbolism is all over your dollar bills, which is exactly what was established May 1st, 1776 by the numbers. The Illuminati is Freemasonry, it's Zionism, it's the Jesuits, it's the people who operate by this code in front of our face every day. And it's not like Fred Hampton or Cam Newton are born into it. Might be that they're pulled into it through family who are connected through these networks. These people can control a lot of agents with money. Till next time, True Seeker. For one last thing, the film Jerry Maguire from 1996, emphasis on 96, it ran 139 minutes long. Freemasonry sums to 139 the big way, 58 the small way. This film, it stars Cuba Gooding Jr. He plays the main character alongside Tom Cruise. Throughout the entire film, he wears the number 85. National Football League equals 85. So does his name Tidwell. Tidwell equals 85. In the film, he plays for the Arizona Cardinals, who are one of the first two NFL football teams established in Chicago. The Cardinals are originally from Chicago. This film, it released on a date with a life lesson number of 50. Rod Tidwell and Pythagorean Gematria also sums to 50. I was pointing out last year during the time of the playoffs that this movie, it ends with a Black Panther tribute from Rod Tidwell's brother. He's got the African flags on. He's doing the Black Power salute. I said, see, this is what it is. I said, your Super Bowl is definitely going to be Panthers and Broncos. They've been coding over the years so many things, giving us clues of what's to come in the future. This is how I figured out that this gang has planned out what is to come in this world. They got the sports games scripted way out. They got the news scripted way out. It goes to show a person like Cam Newton was born and bred to be. He might have even been born in a laboratory. Cam Newton, a freak of nature. A very massive, strong, athletic man. You know? Unreal. There's a reason they call him Superman. And if you missed my video last year on how he participated in a fake car crash by the numbers, I even pointed out then, I said this might mean something for them next season. It's the season they ended up going to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50, final note, it was hosted by San Francisco, but they played in Santa Clara on the 121st meridian. Exactly 121 days after the Super Bowl, the Broncos went to the White House, which was June 6th, 2016. The book of Revelation is the 66th book of the Bible. Remember, Black Panthers established in 66, first Super Bowl season. Anyway, the 66th book of the Bible is Revelation. In Gematria, Revelation sums to 49 and 121. The 49ers hosted the Super Bowl on the 121st meridian. The white horse symbolism team went to the White House 121 days later. If you've never read Revelation before, find it, start to read it. You won't even have to read that far before you get to the white horse symbolism. This gang, the way they code these numbers, they all come from places, and possibly they all come from the Bible, and possibly the spiritual texts that came before that the Bible was based on. But the point is, this numerical system, this doing things by the number system, it is old, and it is ongoing, and it is in our face when we know what to look for. Everything about Jerry Maguire is coded out to the teeth. And, last year people were probably watching my videos saying I was insane, projecting that the Super Bowl would be Broncos and Panthers off the things I did. A car crash that put a body on a Colorado street sign in L.A., what's in Jerry Maguire, and more. But you know what? I'm not crazy. The people who are doing this to us are who are insane. Got to have an open mind, truth seeker. Otherwise, you'll never see. Until next time.